Alrighty. Hello, my name is Malik Shaw, and I will be presenting to you my final project. I haven't come up with a catchy phrase for it, so just walking the dog. Now, introduction to my final project. The gamification of walking one's dog will be my project. I personally have two dogs that I do not walk as much as I should, honestly. The goal of my project is to get people to walk their dogs at least twice a day. Once, sometime in the morning, and then a second time, sometime near or around dinner. Because walking your dog is not only good for them as they get some exercise, but also good for you as it's a low to medium exercise. I forget how they scale those, but it's not a high intense one unless your dog likes to run, which some do, in which case you'll get a decent exercise there. But it's a low to medium one, so you'll get some well needed relaxation in walking. On to the next slide. So the behavioral change that we're looking for with my gamification product, which, if I have not mentioned already, is an app, would be an app. The behavioral gamification that I want people to have is hold themselves responsible when it comes to walking their dog. I want them to take ownership of their dog and truly show it the attention that it needs. Dogs need to be walked, and if dogs could walk themselves, they would, but since they cannot, it is up to us to do so. So getting people to hold themselves responsible would be the biggest behavioral change I would want to encourage. This is not a bad one. This isn't causing people to, I don't know, invoke the forces of evil. This is just having people do what they should be doing. A lot of people don't walk their dogs, and I mean, I, for one, am one of those people, as stated earlier. I do enjoy my dog's company. I do enjoy my dog's presence. I play ball with them. I take them out from time to time, but I don't give them like their day-to-day walk, which people don't think is necessary. I mean, if you have a backyard, it's a little different, I guess, because you can let them go outside and kind of exercise themselves, let them run around. But in Arizona, where certain birds of prey are quite common, it is harder to walk your smaller dogs, which I have two of. Or let them be outside without them getting stolen by some random bird that mistakes them for a treat, or I shouldn't say mistakes them, that will take them for a treat. And so I think it's really important for us as owners or pet owners, particularly dogs. I mean, if you want to walk your cat, go for it. I've seen clips of people walking their fish too, but particularly dogs, because dogs really do enjoy the walk that they get, and it's good for them. It's healthy, and it's healthy for us as we get to get some exercise, some fresh air, especially in these times where we're kind of cooped up in our living arrangements. It's really nice to get outside, kind of move around, you know, breathe in that fresh, natural air. Alrighty, so next slide. Some of my key features for this app. So, social media feed updates, that's the biggest. I personally, I'm gonna preface this, do not use social media whatsoever. And I don't say this like as a edgy way to be cool or something like that. I just don't. I've never had an interest in it. My first and only social media that I made with my own volition was MySpace, and I was in like middle school. So I personally am not a big social media user, but I do know that the effects it has on people, it's so huge. And so it'd be the best way to kind of keep people going. Social media is kind of like I want to say worldwide representation of your brand of some sorts. Now, your brand is you in this case. It's not an item or a product, unless you have one. So it's because everyone can see your feed and they see these updates. So I don't know. Let's say you start the app on Monday. You've walked your dog for an entire week, or maybe an entire month. People see these updates, these consistent stream of updates, and they're like, yeah, posting, on your feed. Hey, dude, great job, keeping your dog, walking your dog like that. I haven't taken my dog out on a walk in a while. I should really get into it. You're really motivating me to do so. So I think social media is going to be a big one, or play the biggest part, because if you learn anything about social media, it is that it can truly take control over one's life. I don't want to take control of your life. I think, at least in some degree, that what my project is doing is healthy for you and your dog, but I cannot take away from the fact that social media does control some people's lives. On top of that, we'd have avatars for you and your dog. These avatars would be mainly on the app. So social media would be a connecting portion to the app. So it'd be a social media thing where it would update your social media, whatever, when you link with whatever post that you make on the app, as well as putting it on your social media feed. So if you put pictures, if you put some post saying, just walk my dog 15 miles, don't know if anyone's doing that, but just saying. Or just walk my dog 15 meters or whatever, I don't know. And post onto your, I gotta give this app a name. I'm gonna call it the dog app. It posts onto the dog app, and then it also posts onto like Facebook or something. And that avatar of yours, you can have be like showed, but it mainly be on your dog app, because when people see that you're walking your dog, they'd have a little animation like, oh, I'm currently out walking my dog, and you can see your little avatar walking the dogs that you have. If you have one, you have two. The app would be flexible, allowing you to have multiple dogs, but only one you character, one avatar for yourself. And then it'd be daily login bonuses, because you want to walk your dogs daily. So at least getting on one walk a day, it's not the main goal. The goal is two, but at least getting in one is good for both you and the dogs. So if we can kind of maybe like do like a double daily bonus for logging in. So maybe like beginning of the day, end of the day. And you can only get them at a certain time, so they have to be timed so that you're not just logging in when they're both up, so that you can get the bonus for both of them. That's probably one way to do that. And then a warning system to alert you to walk your dog more. So this was kind of wordy, couldn't figure out a way to shorten this. But essentially, if you go a month walking your dog and then you stop for a week, your app would like send you a notification, maybe even send your little the dog app itself, maybe even make a little post like haven't been able to walk my dog lately. I don't know. Sorry, dog's name, insert here. We'll get outside more again. Just something to like alert you, maybe even push the information outside of just you, because again, social media kind of drives that. So if people see that you haven't been able to walk your dog, maybe something is happening in your life, and just a little bit of a notification that everyone else get might help you there. But for the main part, it's just to like, hey, so and so's not walking their dog, and so I don't know. One of your friends might be like, hey, I see you stopped walking your dog. What happened? And it's like, oh, now everyone thinks I'm not walking my dog anymore. I just haven't had the time. Things have been busy. And so like, it's just to give you that alert, just to, I guess, an avoidance. If we were to like classify these into the gamification groups, this would be an avoidance. Daily quest, kind of in the same vein as daily login bonus, but more like the epic narrative, where they like walk to this location, and there'll be GPS tracking. I'll just skip over to that real quick because it's important with daily quest. There'll be GPS tracking, which kind of lets the app know if you actually take the walks, so that it's not just you're not just posting things from the comfort of your couch, shaking the phone maybe. You're actually taking the walks. It'll note where you start, note where you quote unquote end, because you should end back at your place. So note where you start, note the distance that was traveled, and then note when you decide to end the walk, which you just do by logging onto your phone, pressing end walk, and call it a day. And then from there, you can like post whatever you want to post. You could just post that you walk your dog. You don't have to really post anything big. You don't have to post a whole story about what you did. But if you want to, with the daily quest, like maybe one of the daily quests is, oh, the princess is in this location. Walk, or you and your mighty steed, calling your dog a horse, or your dog's horses, must go to this location to get the princess back. And like things like that, just to give you a little bit of motivation. Like instead of just doing your daily walk around the block, or maybe your daily walk down the block and back to your house, maybe give you a little more of a push to go maybe a little further, or to a place that you haven't seen before. And the GPS would be tracking where you go on your typical daily walk, and then kind of like take locations from maybe not Google Maps per se, but from like maps, and choose places that are close to that you can walk to. That would be like your quest destination. Because I already talked about GPS tracking, I'll kind of glaze over that. GPS tracking is GPS tracking. It is just there to make sure that you're walking your dog. And then achievements. So one that I really liked was if you took pictures of you picking up your dog poop and you tagged it as such, you get like a golden poop award. Or you can get like, if you walked your dog 5 times or a certain amount of times in the cold and you got them wearing little booties, you get like the snow tracker. and stuff like that. Just little cute achievements, titles maybe that just kind of incentivize you to keep playing. Nothing crazy, nothing that's gonna be like groundbreaking or anything that's gonna really require you to do something that you don't want to do or hurt your dog in any way. I'm not trying to have you take your dog out on 100-degree weather, post that it's hot days, and then your dog getting burnt feet. No, it'd be something reasonable and keeping in mind the health of you and your dog. All right. So, lastly, let's go over the conclusion. So, the helpful outcome of this project is to get people in the habit of walking their dogs at least twice a day. I know this can be hard because some people get busy, as I am fully aware, but walking your dog doesn't really need to be an hour. Sometimes it could be a quick 10-minute walk, which is just as good as the hour walk. And that's kind of the hope for this. I don't want people to go out thinking that they have to walk their dog for 5, 10, let's say 5-10 minutes for like 1 to 2 hours. I want them to go out thinking 10, 15, maybe even 30-minute walk. We're good. We're done. We don't need to do anything crazy. Maybe a quick walk around the block. Just something to get them going. It gets them exercising. It gets their bodies going. It helps them with their bowel movements. There's a lot of hope that walking the dog does because they're so used to moving around. And we're in a very stationary life nowadays that we don't think about the way that dogs were raised. I mean, they used to be wolves, being frank. So just get out there, walk your dogs. That's the hope of this project. And me, myself, I hope to also start walking my dogs more often, especially with this up and coming break. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I hope you have a grandiose day.